Morning all, 13th of July 2026. We did go out yesterday. We went to Elsica Heritage Centre like I said we were going to do. Fortunately when we got there, bloody record shop was shut. They went on holiday on Friday and they come back tomorrow. So I might put the battery on charge again tonight and I might have a solo poodle into town. I've not been into town on my benefit buggy yet. Excuse me. To be honest with you, yesterday I got Optimus Prime last August, and apart from going down to Oakwell for matches and going up outside at Metrodome and round Oakwell walking once, and one time going and voting, which is literally instead of turning right to go down past Metrodome, which we do with dogs, you turn left down Queen's Road and I vote there. That's the furthest I've been on it. So yesterday was the first time we actually put it into the car. The car that we specifically got because we couldn't get her into Vicky's old Fiat 500. So it was the furthest away we've ever taken benefit buggy, and it's the furthest I think I've ever ridden on it. And the battery surprised me because when we go down, when we walk dogs plural, when we go, we set off and we sort of like uphill all the way until we get to Metrodome. Then we go downhill along and round Oakwell, and then when we're coming back from Oakwell, it's uphill to get out at the car park, and then it's uphill all the way home. And by the time we get back here, the little little green dots are close to the little red dots. So it eats the battery up. However, yesterday, we went to Elsica. We pootled around Elsica Heritage Centre a little bit. Then we went all the way through to Cannon Hall so dogs could have a run. And I did a bit of pootling around there. Even went on grass until I decided it weren't a good idea and come back off at grass, and yeah, back up through car park to cafe that was shut and then back down again. And I think I lost 2 green lights. So I've always been a bit concerned. It reckons it's got a range of about 12 miles, and it's always concerned me that it might not have. And I don't want to set off somewhere and not be able to get back. It's not entirely set up for steep gradients and everything. It's sort of like a go around Meadowhall shopping centres or town centre sort of thing. But if I go up and downhill into town, I don't know why I'm looking over there because you can't see over there. If I go up and downhill into town, it should be alright pootling. So I'm only going to go to Vinyl Underground, and then coming back it'll be like up the hill, and then it'll probably kick some more charge into it when I'm coming back down to it. I'm waffling already. I've only been on it. So that's 4 minutes. And I'm already talking out my ass. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not feeling it today. I was saying yesterday afternoon, my fingers and my toes on my left foot feel like they're in a vice, and just, yeah. You know when you put your tongue on a battery? That's the kind of feeling I've got in my toes at this moment in time. And there's no position I can get in and nothing I can do that will stop it. And my whole left leg yesterday, from my knee down, felt like lead, and it's feeling the same today. So Vicky's under the impression that means things might be knitting back together and you get your feeling back, and I don't think so, but there we go. So we went to Elsica and the record shop was shut, but we had a pool around. Packed outside the pub was this rather nice Lambretta. I say rather nice, it was spoilt in the fact that it got Man United murals all over it, but it was nice. Murals were real well done. I saw a Mark II Rally Chopper. I am positive, I was saying this to Vicky yesterday, I'm positive that the horizontal bar gear changer is Mark II and the Mark I had more like a gear knob gear changer. I might be wrong, it might be the other way around. I'm sure some bright spark will tell me either way. I never thought to look at it and Google it yesterday, but yeah. We once bit of a detour, just bear with me on this one. We once went to see Steve Wright. Well, we didn't go. We were in Cleethorpes because Mum and Dad had a van there when Steve Wright brought the Radio 1 Roadshow to Cleethorpes. And I remember we were stood, I mean, you're talking 80s, so, and we were all stood, you know, it was full with it was. And there were a banking, and this kid, I said kid, he seemed like a grown man back then, rode across the top at banking on a red Rally Chopper. And it got streamers on it, it got mirrors on it, it got horns on it, it got a whip aerial on it. He looked the dog's bollocks. Never had one. Wanted one, didn't got one. I got a Sunbeam Snipe instead, because it were better apparently. Anyway, so yeah, we had a pull around. We decided to have something to eat there. Vicky got herself a tuna and cheese panini and got me a cheese and ham panini, and saw somebody. We sat outside and there were some tables that got parasols and one caught wind and went. But yeah, then it was like, what now? And we decided to take dogs for a run, like Vicky says. We take them to Cannon Hall, they can have a run. Cawthorne Park, they can have a run. So we did. And it was lovely. So yeah, like I said, then we went to have a cup of coffee, and cafe was shut at F3, and we got there about 10 to 4. Yeah. Then we come home, mulched and did out, and yeah. So yeah, not a great deal happened other than that yesterday. 2 years ago, I did something very grown up. We were in Costco and there were a Millennium Falcon Lego set, and Vicky's like, well, do you want it? I'm like, and do what with? What am I going to do with it once I've built? There's certain things I've got. I've got my record players and I've got my scooter, which I will keep and they'll stay. But I said to her, what would I do with it once I built it? To just sit there. There's better things I could spend money on. So I didn't get it. But it was only about that big. It weren't the Mac-off coffee table size one that's best part of £1.5. I'm not stupid, folks. I want to turn that one down. I think that was the same day as well that we were looking at these big sort of like, I want to say plastic, but they're more like resiny, big, solid, chunky sheds, and there were a double one, and it was them that Vicky said, well, if you got one of them, you could get a second scooter. And that's why I'd started looking 2 years ago at scooters and been looking at old Vespas, classic Vespas, and so we're going to keep Lola for going to work and back and day-to-day stuff, but I'm going to get an old classic Vespa for weekends, for runs and ride outs and one thing and another. But not to be. 4 years ago today, I took one of our service users to Sheffield because the company or the charity I worked for, the job that I've just finished in May, or got finished from, they were one of the sponsors of the Women's Euros when they were over here 4 years ago, and consequently got a chance to go to a match. So me and one of the service users went. Sweden v Switzerland, I want to say. I know this much. I've said it before, and I might even have said it on here. I have never seen so many beautiful people. The Swedish and the Swiss are gorgeous. Even the blokes. Never seen perfection. I didn't see one ugly fan. Honestly, well, other than me and him. Honestly, oh man, they're like they're made in a factory. I think IKEA must do it as a sideline. But that were a cracking day out. And they all come in. I know that, you know, foreign supporters do it, but they all meet up in one place and then walk towards the ground, and both sets of fans did it. And standing out, I mean, part of the deal was getting these free tickets is we had to stand and give flags and, you know, other bits and like little paper rattly type things. See, well, you know, we stood there and did it for an hour, it was alright. But yeah, so consequently we were sat outside watching them walking. Shut up! Oi! Are you shut up, twiggy legs? So yeah, it was a grand day out, that one. I do miss working there. I miss work full stop. I miss getting up. I'm an odd one, but I do miss setting alarm for like 10 to 6 so I can get up and get ready and go to work. I mean, it took me longer to get Lola out at shed and out at garden than it did to actually ride her to work. I mean, I live that close that when it snowed, even with my gammy fused ankle, I could walk up in the snow. You know, it took me 20 minutes, half an hour. It's a mile. I mean, I know it's not fast, but I don't walk fast at best. Even before all of this, I never walked fast at best of times. So, considering it's all uphill from our house to where I worked and in snow, I don't think that's too bad. But I do miss it. I miss no 2 days were the same, and most of the time we were sat about. They're normally about usually 3 of us on a shift. Sometimes there might only be 2 on a weekend, depending on what we're happening and who we're in. You know, there might only be 2 of us, and a lot of it was spent sat in office drinking tea and gassing about shit. You know, and it were nice. And as a whole, apart from 1 or 2 ne'er-do-wells, I'd say as a whole, the majority of the people that I work with, I got on with. We might have difference of opinion on certain things, but, you know, we still got on well, and we talked about really obscure things, you know, a whole gamut of things. So, why's that just done that? I said press that. I didn't mean to press it twice. Oh well. So yeah, that's where we're at. I don't think I've anything else to tell you today. No, it's just gone 11:05. I think I might take my foot ankle brace off for a bit and see if that eases my foot. But I've got something in the back of my head telling me that I was looking at something the other day, and it said that if I ordered it to be here on Monday, and I can't remember if I ordered whatever it was I was looking at, and it's Monday, and I've had no notifications of that. I don't fucking know. But anyway, right, I will see you tomorrow, because tomorrow is a special day. More about that in the morning. TTFN.